Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Eagles Latest on FanArch. I am your host, Blake McQueary, as always. That ain't nothing new. We do have some new stuff, though, which we'll get into in a little bit. It's Giants week, officially. Thursday. Time is ticking to game day. Just a few days away. The New York Giants are back up. As many of you guys know, what happened just 2 games ago. I don't think there should be anything else said, but lock in. The Eagles need to lock in. I think this week needs to be a week full of just everybody locked in. I like everybody locked in. Everybody serious. No, there should be no messing around in that practice, in that facility. None of that. They need to get locked in for this week. Cannot lose to the Giants again, obviously. We'll talk about those stakes probably on next episode. But yeah, we're back. Excuse me while I yawn. It's been a long day for me. I'm recording this on Wednesday night, as you guys know. Recording the night before. Anyways, yeah. That's that. We're going to get into the injury report first up on the list today. Heading into Giants week, obviously, their injury report from yesterday, which was Wednesday, the first day of practice back for the Eagles. Adoree Jackson, concussion, listed as did not participate. Obviously suffered that against the Minnesota Vikings in that game. A lot of people probably saw that. Cam Jurgens, his knee, he did not participate. He's been banged up. Still banged up, not participating. So Cam Jurgens is back on that list as a DNP. Azeez Ojulari, his hamstring, he did not participate, which is a huge hit to the edge room that is already just lacking. Jeremiah Trotter Jr. still nursing that ankle injury. He is on the did not participate status list. Grant Calcaterra, his oblique, he was a limited participant. His first time being a limited participant. I think he might have been a limited participant last week, actually. But he's been banged up last couple of weeks. Landon Dickerson, his ankle and his back, limited participant. He's been banged up literally since preseason. Everybody knows about that one. I'm not even going to go into my spiel about that. And Landon Dickerson. Dallas Goedert, his calf, limited participant. Dallas Goedert back on the injury report. I think that is an every week, and every other week, every few week type of thing for Dallas Goedert. You know him and his injuries. And then Moro Ojomo, his shoulder, and limited participant. Brandon Graham, not injury-related, full participant. He was back on the field, number 55, ready to go. In the Kelly Green. They're wearing Kelly Greens. It's Kelly Green week. It's Kelly Green week. I should have opened with that. It is Kelly Green week. It needs to be a great week. It's Kelly Green week. It's got to be a great week. Brandon Graham, back, full participant today, or on Wednesday at practice. So, he's back. The guy that I did not mention, A.J. Brown, listed as a hamstring injury, did not participate. Jesus, it's been hamstring like all year. Even since a few weeks leading up to the year, it's been hamstring. Yeah, he did not practice. I didn't even think that was a thing. I listed him last because obviously you can see what the next thing on the ticker is, and that is Cryptic Brown. So we're just going to get right into that. Yeah. So, A.J. Brown posting another cryptic message, question mark. I'm a little skeptical on this one. I'm a little both sides here. His Instagram caption was using me but not using me. Obviously, everyone kind of was talking about the hot mic that happened during his touchdown against the Vikings. Kind of him just saying, "Throw me the effing ball. That's all you got to do." Basically, is what he said. AJ Brown. Is that a cryptic message? Using me, not using me. For some reason though, I feel like I've heard this in a Drake song or something. I don't know. It has that feel. It really does. It has that feel. I haven't looked up if they are lyrics or anything like that. I don't even know if there was a song attached to that post, but using me, not using me. It's interesting. It's really interesting. I think I would think after last game, AJ Brown would be satisfied. I'm not gonna sit here and say that he is not satisfied. I think this. I feel like this one just goes back to we'll never know. We're never. I know for a fact we'll never know. I mean, I think it's just something that I don't even know what it is. Honestly, I can't think of anything. I feel like I'll say what though. I am tired of it. I really am. I don't know if it's a cryptic message or not. Like I said, I am tired of it though. I'm tired of the speculations. I said that weeks ago that I was tired of kind of the talk on AJ Brown. I guess he's kind of. I would say after this one, he's doing it to himself. I would be frustrated if I was inside that facility, honestly. Jalen Hurts was asked about it on Wednesday. He said, quote, "I just keep my focus on the collective." Obviously, Jalen Hurts isn't going to answer anything along the lines of, yeah, things aren't good. Like Jalen Hurts is not going to say that, obviously. Jalen Hurts is going to be very hidden with that. Very protective, I should say. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. If it is a cryptic message, who cares? I'm tired of it. After last game, what else do you want, AJ Brown? Then again, who knows? Maybe it was just, like I said, song lyrics and he wanted to post them. Who knows? Seriously. I feel like as much speculating as we do with why a player did this or why a player said this or why a player posted this tweet or why a player posted that picture or why was this the Instagram caption on this player's post. As much speculating as we do, we are never going to know deep down fully the exact reason and what the hell is going on. We're not going to know. So I just feel like there's no point in speculating when we're not going to know. AJ Brown is not going to come out and say, "Oh, yeah, I posted it because of this, and that." He's not going to do that. Jalen Hurts obviously is not going to answer a question and give an answer yeah, things aren't going well with AJ Brown right now and me. That's just, it's not going to happen. I tell you what does need to happen. If those two aren't on the same page, they need to get on the same page, especially the week that the Eagles have coming up on Sunday against the Giants. Everybody should be together right now. Everybody should be pissed off. Everybody should be very, very serious and avoid drama the least amount that they can. I think that's what should happen. So, I don't know. Is it a cryptic message? Probably, because that's AJ Brown. It's taking me a lot not to call him a diva right now. It's taking me a lot to not call him a diva. I don't want to do it. I really don't want to do it. But if he keeps this energy up, it is diva behavior. I will say that. It is diva behavior if he keeps it up. So, I don't know. Get on the same page, though. That's what I have to say about that, is get on the same page. If you aren't, like I said, as much speculating as we do, we're never going to know. So, I don't know. I don't even know what... I understand, posting as a... as a franchise player, as a star player on your team, I understand why posting cryptic messages and making your feelings heard. I understand what it does. Obviously, it creates leverage, things like that. It gets you what you want sometimes, most of the times. In this situation, though, I just don't understand the cryptic message. I really don't. He had 2 touchdowns and like what 100 and something yards, receiving yards. I don't know what else he wants. So that's that. I mean, yeah. Moving on to mock trades. I should have put this last, but it's whatever. There's been a few mock trades. There's been a few guys people have been speculating on social media. There's been, chatter among the fans of the Eagles should go get this guy. Howie Roseman should go trade for this guy. Things like that. I was gonna call Eagles fans something, and I'm not gonna do it. I value I value having a good relationship with you guys, so I'm not going to call Eagles fans anything. But sometimes Eagles fans like to shoot for the stars, and sometimes those stars are very unrealistic and impossible. But there is one that has been thrown around amongst fans. I think a few insiders, a few writers. That's Bradley Chubb of the Miami Dolphins. Bradley Chubb is a pretty good edge rusher. I think the Eagles could go and trade for Bradley Chubb. Now, what would it take? Yeah, I mean, I think it would only take a 3rd or 4th round pick. I don't think it would take much. Obviously, Howie Roseman, not afraid to trade away those types of picks. He's also not afraid to get those types of picks. So, who knows? Chubb, he is a 2-time Pro Bowler. He has been a reliable pass rusher throughout his 7-year career. This year, just this season so far, Chubb has totaled 20 tackles, 5 tackles for loss in 7 games. PFF, they have credited him with 15 pressures so far. So obviously, like I said, he's been a pretty reliable pass rusher, a pretty good one. Wouldn't take too much to get Chubb. Does Howie do it? I don't know. Obviously, the edge rush is pretty banged up for the Eagles. Obviously, the pass rush game has not been the best for the Eagles. Has not lived up to his expectations. Bradley Chubb would boost that tremendously. I think that one makes, if we're talking edge rushers, I think that one makes the most sense. Unless they go and get like a Jermaine Johnson II from the New York Jets, but I don't think that would happen. I think Bradley Chubb would be a way more realistic trade candidate for the Eagles. And the Dolphins suck. They are obviously going to go into another rebuild, if you even want to call it a rebuild, after this year. I think Mike McDaniel might get fired. Obviously, a lot of Eagles fans licking their chops at Mike McDaniel. Pause. Yeah, I mean, I think that makes the most sense. Why not? If you're going to go through another rebuild, because, I mean, Miami Dolphins rebuilding, I seriously, I don't know if you would call that a rebuild, but, they're going to, basically clean house. Tyreek definitely played his last game in a Dolphins uniform. Tua is probably done, near done. Mike McDaniel, like I said, don't see them moving forward. So, yeah, at that point, it's rebuilding. So I think Bradley Chubb would be a really, really good trade candidate for the Eagles. Very realistic. And he could reunite with Vic Fangio. I think, obviously, Eagles being a contender, Chubb would want to be traded to Philly, especially with Vic Fangio there. So, yeah, I mean, it just makes sense for all sides involved. Now, one last thing. Saquon Barkley. The great, great, great man that Saquon is. Very unselfish. Saquon, he was asked about the run game. I think this was after the Minnesota game. And he says to blame it on him. Now, I'm going to go ahead, and I understand Saquon's character, his demeanor, who he is. But I'm going to go ahead and say not so fast, buddy. This run game is not on Saquon. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. If you've watched the run plays, if you've watched the opportunities that have been created for him, there hasn't been much. He makes a lot of no gain, negative gain plays. He turns those into no, actually, let me rephrase that. He turns a lot of negative yardage plays into no gain or gain situations. He really does. Seriously. Like, he's seriously out there running and fighting for his life when he touches the football behind the line of scrimmage. So, and then with the run game, it's just like you see flashes of it early in games. For some reason, they run the ball. They tend to run the ball very well early on in games, like first few drives, and then it just skyrockets the opposite way. I mean, like, you see the Broncos game, had that 17-yard run. That was like his longest run of the year. The Giants, he started off very well in that game. Vikings, 5 carries for 25 yards on the Eagles' first drive. The rest of the game, 13 carries for 19 yards. Like, what are we doing? What is going on? I know what's going on. It's the offensive line. That's why I say you're not going to blame Saquon for this. Saquon, don't blame yourself for this. This is all on the offensive line. What he said exactly, quote, I feel like in recent weeks we've been really good in the beginning in the run game. We kind of fall off after that, and that starts with me. I've got to be better. No. No, you don't. No, you do not. Saquon, my guy, you do not need to be better. The offensive line needs to be better. They are ranking in the bottom 10 of the NFL in almost every key statistic for this whole season. Stuffed run percentage, they're 31st. They're almost league worst. Run block win rate, they're 24th. Pressure rate allowed, they're 25th. And pass block win rate, they're 19th. They're almost halfway in pass block win rate, but they're not quite there. It's the offensive line. It really is. And I'm definitely not going to sit here and say the offensive line. They just haven't been doing their jobs. They suck. It's not exactly what I'm saying here. I think you guys know what I'm saying with the offensive line. I've covered it lots of past episodes. It's the injuries. It really is. It's unfortunate. It's the injuries. And then also when you have those injuries, and they're kind of inconsistent injuries. I feel like it's, Landon Dickerson will play one game, and then the other game he's just like, he is just absolutely cooked. Lane Johnson's been in and out. Mulata's been banged up just a little bit. Cam Jurgens, and then you're not having that feel every single week. You're in and out of practice, things like that, whatever the case may be, then it just isn't consistent enough. So it's all on the offensive line. It really is. Saquon does not need to be blamed for that. He should not blame himself for that. That is what it is. Next episode, we will have more preview on the Giants. I'm not going to do too much preview because obviously they just played them 2 weeks ago. So, I mean, what else is there to learn about them? But yeah, we'll get into all of our previews and things like that as the week progresses. I haven't gone through comments yet. I need to go through them and see if there's enough questions, concerns, and thoughts for me to react on them and create a segment out of it. I will go through that, and we can see if there are enough for a segment there. But yeah, continue to comment. Always comment. Questions, preferably questions, but thoughts, concerns. Like, subscribe, tell everybody, share it with the world. And yeah, we'll see you guys next episode.